I personally don't do the TikTok, but this poll is for all you Zoomers out there who are possibly being spied on by China. The boomers don't even seem to know what TikTok is. Well, that's not entirely true. 11% of them are very familiar with the platform. I'm actually pretty impressed, but that's nowhere near the 61% of 18 to 39-year-olds that are very familiar with TikTok. 85% of them are at least somewhat familiar, and only 2% are not at all familiar with TikTok. Black voters are by far the most familiar with the platform at 88%, and white voters are the least, but still a strong majority of them, 61%, are at least somewhat familiar. How concerned are you that TikTok is owned by a Chinese company? Lo and behold, 70% are concerned, and 46% strongly. Only 12% are not at all concerned. Even 2/3 of its biggest users, 18 to 39-year-olds, are concerned, but only 30% strongly. But 65% of voters over 65 are very concerned. Likewise, Republicans are way more concerned than anyone else, 83%, and 66% of them are very concerned. Only 32% of Democrats are very concerned, but still a majority of them, 59%, are at least somewhat concerned. Independents poll closer to Democrats on this one, but only 27% of them are not concerned. In a pretty peculiar finding, people who are very familiar with TikTok are just about as concerned about its China ownership as those who are not at all familiar with it. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? The Chinese government could use TikTok to collect sensitive national security information from U.S. government employees and develop profiles on millions of Americans to use for blackmail or espionage. 68% of voters agree, 46% strongly, and only 9% strongly disagree. Older voters agree most, though younger voters cut TikTok less slack with this one than with the previous question. Here's Party. 87% of Republicans agree, including 68% who strongly agree. Republicans are generally much more suspicious of China than other voters, but not this much. There's something about the TikTok platform that really is just kryptonite for Republicans. But again, Democrats and independents are sensitive to the issue. 54% of Democrats agree and 64% of independents. What about a TikTok ban? 68% of voters support it, 43% strongly. Here's the thing, even 63% of 18 to 39-year-olds support banning TikTok even though they are its biggest users. Here's Party numbers. 83% of Republicans support a ban, but also 64% of independents and even 58% of Democrats. With how polarized the political parties are, this is about as bipartisan as you're going to get. So how about it, Congress? Only 12% of voters are strongly opposed to a TikTok ban, and only 5% of Republicans and 14% of Democrats. Even 63% of voters who are very familiar with TikTok support a ban. This would be a pretty great way to work together to get something straightforward and uncontroversial accomplished in a high-profile and bipartisan way. Now, for another interesting video at the end, I'll link our poll showing a strong majority of voters think it's likely that Joe Biden knew about and personally profited from his son Hunter's deals with companies in China, totally unrelated. Thanks again for watching. Our channel is barely 3 months old and we've already had 4 videos taken down. So consider clicking our link to Rumble in the description if you don't want to miss anything. Thanks again for watching and please subscribe. It's the #1 way we can break independent public opinion news and undermine mainstream propaganda. Thank you.